Well, hopefully not many people are dealing with what I'm dealing with.
Checked out your shop today, everything we did, saw the interesting equipment, the, tools you use, met your employees. What made you get into like the whole maker's life?
We got a while.
We got plenty of time.
That's a pretty long.
152 minutes.
There you go. So long story short, in the military, as a jet engine mechanic of all things, and doing this. Don't ask me how that happened, but I grew up.
You were a what?
A jet engine mechanic. I worked on P3s, S3s, H60s.
So you like
P8s.
Physically tinkered with things. That makes a lot more sense. So
rotor heads on rotary or on helicopters, engines on aircraft.
This all is making a lot more sense now.
Yeah, I've always been a tinker. I grew up. My dad was essentially a jack of all trades. Like he could do anything. The kind of guy. So obviously I learned a lot from him. Riding his coattails through life, kind of observing what he does, and things like that.
Did he involve you with a lot of the projects that he would work on?
Yeah, I mean the one thing I remember he never involved me in is I used to fly remote control airplanes a lot when I was a kid. We started out with line control and all that stuff. Yeah. The one thing that he never let me mess with is he was building me a from scratch.
He was building you, but wouldn't let you mess with it.
Well, yes, it was a project that he worked on that he kept secret.
Oh, I gotcha.
So after it kind of didn't bother me, but kind of hurt a little bit, because you're used to working with him, and all of a sudden he's, oh, I don't need your help with this.
Yeah.
But what he was doing, he was building me a scratch built aircraft, RC airplane to build or to fly. It's one of those things. Looking back, it's like, it's pretty cool. But at the time, it was like, what the heck's he doing? Why can't I help? So that was one thing.
You were probably frustrated.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of those things. I mean, it's not a big deal, but it's one of those things growing up. It's like, I mean, I did everything with him for the most part. And, having that kind of sucked. But looking back, like I said, the intentions was there. Yeah, there's a reason for it and whatnot. But anyways, kind of squirrel moment there. But so he did a lot of woodworking. A lot of our furniture in our house was custom made furniture that he built in the garage, and he did stuff for other people. He did a lot of things. He owned a grocery store, gas station, carry out.
Was this in Florida?
No, this is all in Ohio.
So that's where you're from?
Yeah, I'm from Ohio originally.
And then you moved to Florida at some point after the military?
Well, just the military brought me here in the late 90s when I first came in, and from there went up to Maine. That's where I met my wife. And then we moved to Maryland, where I was born. Actually, the base that I was born on when my dad was in the Navy.
So your dad was military too?
Yeah. Every male in my family has been in the military.
Were they all Navy?
No, Army, Navy, and Air Force. So every male in my family has been in the military. It didn't help that I grew up in the Top Gun era. So that's kind of what drew me in. But so yeah, just being in the military, traveling around. I ended up making it down here in 2007, I think it was. And I've been here ever since. I've been in Florida total about 20 years of my life.
Do you like Florida? Yes
and no. I mean, I like that I don't have to deal with snow.
So you got to deal with Floridians?
Well, it's
Florida man?
Floridians. But yeah, I mean, it's a place to live.
Yeah.
I mean, it's home now. Will that change in the future? Who knows? But, the kids all grew up here essentially. As long as they could possibly remember, that's all they've known. So until they're all adults and out, I mean, we'll definitely be here. But after that, who knows? Might go be a Sasquatch in the forest somewhere in the mountains. But yeah, and then I just kind of gravitated towards woodworking myself throughout the years and doing stuff for myself, our house.
Did you build all those stuff around here, like the chicken coops and all that?
Yeah, and they got furniture in the house that I built. Several pieces. I got some stuff left over from my dad passed away. I got some of his old furniture that he made that was in our house growing up as kids. So that's pretty cool. Then 2017, retired, and swore I'd never work for anybody again a day in my life. And
So far, so good.
so far, 8 years later, almost 9 years later, still haven't had to work for somebody.
Yeah, it's like you what was it? You switch out a 9 to 5 to work basically 24 hours, 24/7.
Yeah, I mean they say, owning a business is great, which it is.
It is. I agree.
In a lot of facets, but it's not. Oh, everybody has a misconception. It's like,
let me take my big bank of money or
my
big bag of money.
I'll make my own hours. I go to work when I want.
No, you still have to follow.
Yeah, that don't happen.
You work more.
From the time I get up till time I go to bed, 9-10 o'clock, whatever at night, I'm answering phone calls, emails, messages, things like that as necessary. So it's never ending. I mean, the weekends, I've finally gotten to the point about 2 years ago where weekends, like, there's no work. I used to bring that stuff home and do stuff over the weekend. It's like, nope, I'm done. Like, I'm not
Just
doing
take off on the weekends now. Enjoy yourself.
Yeah, I'll sleep in till 3-4 o'clock.
Wake up. It takes working constantly every day to get to that point.
Oh yeah,
you can't take the weekends because I'm sure there's lots of weekends you do work.
Oh yeah, I mean for the first, I don't know, 5 years of this business, I didn't earn a paycheck. Everything went right back into the business. And it's tough. It's not easy because if you don't have the determination, you're not going to make it.
No.
Like, you can't just, I want to start this, have a little bit of money,
and hope customers just come flocking to you.
Hope people come. Like, that just doesn't work. I've been fortunate enough in the military. I know a lot of people that were in at the time and that have since gotten out and
trying to take the same route, and they just need.
No, like, just networking. Like, that's the biggest thing, and the biggest thing I could tell anybody is just networking. Like, if you are not networking, you're doing yourself a huge disservice. Yeah. And that could be as simple as when you go to a restaurant, make small talk with somebody about something. Or if you're standing in line at a concert, or don't be afraid to talk to people. You have no idea who you're going to run into.
Yeah. Sometimes you might even make their day, because no one will talk to them. And
exactly.
You actually did. And they might be your biggest customer after that.
Yeah, I mean, and it's true. Like, people could be on the edge, and you just saying hello could make their day. You never know. Like, with all the stuff that I do a lot of stuff with our local community, and I call it our neighborhood, or probably within a mile of my house. I have a pretty tight-knit community and helping them. And heck, by doing that, I ran into a guy that's running for mayor. Yeah. And I ended up doing some stuff for his campaign and
things like that. Is that what all those signs were up there? There's quite a few of them. So,
I mean, you never know who you're going to run into, what door you're going to open, and what that might lead you into.
Open no doors if you don't network.
Yeah, if you don't try, you're never going to open a door. So, like I said, just talk to people. I mean, you just never know.
So you got out of the military. You didn't want to work for anyone else. You started, I guess, being more of a maker at first, or did you just jump right in the rotaries?
I've always been a maker. Yeah. Like,
I guess in our terms, the merch maker.
In the current trend, or current
crafter, maker,
craft market, atmosphere, whatever you want to call it. I started doing that a little over 10 years ago. I've done woodwork and stuff for probably 30 years, 35 years. I mean, as long as I can remember, I've done woodwork. And I chose woodwork in the military because it's easy to move that kind of equipment around. Yeah. You can't take a brake press or something from sheet metal and throw it in a truck and haul it across the country when you have to leave every 4 years. Right. So, I mean, I gravitated towards woodwork. When I moved here to this property, that's when I got my first laser. And that was
which laser
about
was
11. That? It's I don't even know if they make them anymore, but it's what we used to call the blue and white, China blue and white.
I ain't even heard one of those.
They got a Chinese yellow and black, Chinese red and black. Blue and white used to be a thing. Like, what you got? I got the Chinese blue and white. Oh, you got a piece of crap. They're good machines, but
It was like unbranded.
Yeah, that's what it was basically. And likely it was probably like OM Tech or something back in the day because they really didn't brand or market their stuff as what they do now. And I'm pretty sure that's probably what it was because they were
just blue and white.
It was just blue and white, blue frame, white doors. I mean, it's that basic. I mean, just like if you look on eBay or Amazon, you see the yellow and black, red and black. You know, I'm pretty sure those are all also OM Tech. I mean, I could be wrong, but yeah. So that was my first laser. Prior to that,
did you get a laser to do stuff on wood originally, or did you already have a plan?
The way it started was, I did furniture, right? So I made my kids custom beds, and I had a place around town here do CNC work to it, like like router work.
Yeah, router work.
And I was doing a lot with cornhole boards, things like that. People wanted like their sports team or whatever on it, so I'd get vinyl graphics or I'd have somebody else carve it. At that time, lasers were not a thing. Really,
it really didn't become mainstream just a couple years ago.
Yeah, so I mean, lasers weren't really that big back then. Yeah. Like there were very few companies that were in the U.S. that did lasers, and then Thunder, Eon, Boss, and AP too. But a lot of those were the first kind of big mainstream laser companies. So doing the woodwork, I had my own router, CNC table. It was like a 5x5. It's like lightning CNC. It's some CNC machine some dude made in '95. They sold for like 3 years, and then the dude went out of business or whatever. I don't know, but it was a nice machine, but it ran off a router head. It wasn't a spindle or anything like that. It wasn't anything fancy. And like the Z-axis was like a metal. It was a metal plate with like linear gears welded onto it.
Yeah.
And it had a cog on a motor on a stepper that raised it, and it was so freaking heavy the stepper motor could hardly keep it up in the air. It was janky. It worked. You just had to go really slow or it would jump. So it was cheap. I mean,
they've come a long way.
Oh yeah, but I got my use out of it, and from there people started to want to do more intricate stuff. Decorations, designs, pictures, photos, things like that. They wanted to put on, and like obviously you can't really do that with a CNC. So I got a laser, and then I got tired of doing like vinyl work or getting people to do vinyl work for me. So I learned how to do vinyl work. Got a cutter, all that stuff, a bunch of vinyl. Started making my own graphics.
Back then, did you think you would be where you are today?
No, I mean this was always. Because without this, I'm fine.
Yeah.
So it was always a hobby that made money. It was a side hustle, like through and through. It was a side hustle. That's all I ever wanted it to be. I didn't want employees. I didn't want more that I could handle myself because I took a lot of pride in building each one of the machines, like this one sitting here, like all the pieces were modeled CNC.
Let's talk about this one. I asked you here earlier if you have the original OG first of one, and you found it.
Yep. Yeah, this is our one of one.
This is number one.
Yep. This would be 01 if you call it, or if you want to call it that. So everything on here, well, the only difference on it now is obviously back then it was really tight on money. So I used a lot of parts from my old one.
Yeah.
Which is this one, but the plastic plates aren't on this anymore because when I got metal, this was the prototype. So this was the one I just kind of built things on. But the only thing, when I transitioned to all metal, I never did it to this one. So the only difference with this between when it first came out is it used to have the plastic plates, like the one I showed you at my shop. That was the very first production, or one, if not the very first production Rotoboss that went out the door. And then I got it back from the customer several years later. Actually, it was probably about 3 years ago.
Were you doing tumblers or something that made you want to do this, or were you doing something else? Well,
it started out. I started out with the blue and white. My next purchase was the Boss laser. I got a big Boss laser, 24 by 36, and then I had one of their fiber lasers. So that was like my starting business. And really the only reason I did the Boss was because they were the only company I could find that would finance. Like at the time, there was nobody else really. Thunder was here, but it had different ownership before the current ownership now. And it just, I don't think it was managed very well. So it wasn't really well known. Same thing with like AP, or not AP, Aeon. They were same thing. The current owner had just recently taken over for the previous owner and stuff like that. So
revamped the company.
Yeah, basically brought it back to life and made it what it is today, both of them. So, I mean, kudos to them for that. But that's what I had. I had a Boss laser. So
you had a laser or a couple lasers or so, and no rotary yet.
No, right? I had the Boss lasers, the rotary that comes with it.
You're using their rotary, which is
the old scissor,
outdated,
janky scissor roller lift.
And was it just not working for you?
I mean, it just, if it goes to frame, it would throw cups off of it because there's no way holding it on. So that led me to
frustration. Led you into trying to find a solution.
Yeah, I mean, and there was a solution out there already, but it was a little bit different. It was a bolt-on unit. You had to drill and tap holes in the frame of the rotary to mount their stuff. Mine was a complete latch-on system. Like there was no tools required. You just slip it on, lock it on with a little clip, and that was it. And we still sell those because there are people that still have those rotaries. So we still sell those devices, very few, but we still sell them when they're needed. So I started making those with a heel plate, basically to keep the cup from walking. So now we controlled the throwing of the cup and the walking of the cup. And probably like mid 2018 ish, I basically scrounged up whatever I could find on the internet I thought would work, and I put together a very rudimentary version of this originally,
inspired by helicopters from the.
I mean, at the time, I had a 3D printer, obviously, and they work on the same extrusion kind of roller mechanism or similar one to it, and they use lead screws with motors and stuff. Because if anybody knows about the Rotoboss, which is our automated Roto Boss, that was kind of why I did the lead screws, because I eventually wanted to put motors on them. Didn't get to mention it, but we have one at the shop. It's called the Rotoboss, and you look it up on our YouTube channel, you'll see it. And you program Lightburn with a GRBL controller, and it comes already programmed and everything, pre-programmed from us. And you go in and set your parameters for whatever cup, and you click on a button. It auto levels. It has auto homing when you start it up.
Fancy.
Like it's pretty crazy. It was I wouldn't say a gimmick. It was a passion project that I did, not really to
sell, just to see if you could do it.
I just wanted to see if it could be done, because that was the original plan for it when I first started out. But obviously, I didn't have the means to do all that back then. Like I said, mid 2018, I came up with that, and I think it's in my shop. I still have a box full of the plates, like the old plates.
Yeah.
Because what I did is I basically made a plate, kind of the size that I wanted, shape I wanted it, and I cut a bunch of holes in it, all over.
Trying to see what works.
Yeah, like I basically turned it into Swiss cheese, and I would mount it on the system and just put things kind of where they worked best, and then wherever I found that worked best, I was like, oop, those are my holes. So it was really
a lot of holes.
It was a very crude way of doing it. I'm not an engineer.
It's like when you're drywalling or trying to drywall through the screw, or put a screw in a stud or whatever. And it's like 1, 2, 3. You see all these holes across there.
That's exactly what it was. I mean, and I'll show them to you, later if you want to get a little picture or something of it to put in with things. But it's literally just a box of plates, plastic plates that were cut in different shapes, sizes.
Just trying to make something work.
Just trying to figure out the geometry and stuff, because I mean, I'm no mathematician. I can't figure that crap out. Like, it was all literally trial and error.
You figured it out some way.
Well, yeah. I mean, it took quite a bit of time to figure out what worked. But once I did, like these this design here is basically the same thing it's been for 6 years.
Yeah, because it
I mean,
works.
it works.
There's
I
some
mean,
things, but the
yeah, I've
overall
changed-
concept works.
I've trimmed the fat off a lot of the panels that didn't need it, and the reason why a lot of these are oversized is because they were made of plastic originally. So
Yeah.
I had to make them big enough to be strong to withstand shipping and people handling them and things like that. So a lot of the plates are just overly sized in a lot of ways. And that's why. So now everything we have is much more slim, streamlined.
Do you remember the day you finally got it all to work and you went and put it on your laser and it just worked flawlessly?
Oh boy, no,
No,
not really.
because you didn't have any of those days. It's every day like there was one more thing that needed to be fixed on it.
Well, I mean, I had the aha moment, I guess, at some point, but
Yeah,
I honestly don't know what that was. Because I mean, it took a very short period of time. I think I brought up the idea of making a rotary and kind of seeing if people would be interested.
were you doing a bunch of tumblers then? And like, what was the need for the rotary? I guess.
Well, I mean, so the main reason why I did it is because I had the roller, I had a chuck. I hated the chuck for the obvious reasons everybody hates those type of chucks. And I hated the roller because it just didn't work. So the Roto Boss was my solution to everything, because with the traditional roller, you couldn't raise or lower both sides in order to level it and still, well, they didn't have clamps on them at that point. But with the clamp, the whole idea with the Roto Boss, both sides being able to adjust, is so you don't lose your clamping ability. You can adjust this side instead of turning the bottle around or whatever it was, flipping it around. Now you don't have a clamp. You're kind of defeating the purpose of having something with a clamp if you can't use it. So that was the reason behind that. And that there could do everything a chuck could do. It could do everything a roller can do. It's not going to be as efficient as a chuck, especially nowadays. But it's at the time, it was a solution to the problem.
So how long did you work on this project trying to figure this out?
Like 3 months. But keep in mind, I had the previous version that was very, very not the same as what this is. And I don't even know where the parts went for that one. Some of them might be in that box from the original. Because that's what I used. I just used it with a bunch of freaking holes in it. Yeah. Like, but I already had that kind of in the bag as far as like figuring out geometry, size, things like that. So then it just came down to more like shape, durability, size, thickness of panel, or the acrylic and how it's cut and everything. So that was the other part. So from when I decided to actually make a production ready model, I mean, it probably took me 2 or 3 months to get something.
Not bad.
So, I mean, it was pretty quick. Like I said, the 3D printer helped a lot, obviously, because I could basically make anything I needed.
I guess learn CAD and all that kind of stuff along the way.
Yeah,
whatever you needed to do to
self-taught.
Do this.
Got several degrees from YouTube University on stuff. But I mean, back then you didn't have that. Like, you didn't have we didn't have anything. Like, myself and several other people were it. There was Russ Sadler. I don't know if you heard of him.
Nope.
He's an amazing guy with, I can't even tell you, he's got more knowledge on lasers than I would ever want. Like, he goes into the weeds on stuff big time. Yeah. But he's smart, and he does put out a lot of good information if you can get past all the technical stuff. 'Cause he's very technical, math and science and all this stuff when he does it.
This stuff is very technical overall, though. Like,
it is. I mean, if you peel back,
you can do like the base things pretty quick and know how to do them and just do them over and over again. But there's so much you can do with the lasers. Like, it's,
well, it's like
I'm always finding something new. It's like, I didn't even know you could do that.
Well, it's like your speed. Like, all these companies, oh, ours does 3,000, ours does 4,000, ours does 5,000. Like, the average person is never going to know what that means, other than they think, oh, it's better because it's faster. I mean, that's not always the case. Yeah. But the true science behind figuring that out is dot size and the length of, just there's a lot of stuff involved in it to figure out how fast it's going,
speed is, and
how it's actually engraving and the dot size and the pattern and all that stuff. There's a lot to it. But it's gotten to the point where it's almost like a household printer. You click a button and it prints.
They're easy.
I mean, it's that simple, and nobody really needs to get that far into the weeds with it, because it doesn't really matter. As long as you know how to operate it and do what you're doing, it doesn't really matter. So,
sure.
But yeah, so that's kind of how that started. The necessity of,
needing one for yourself.
Yeah, I wanted one for myself, if nothing else, and that's why it's probably close to a year before I even considered making a rotary, and that was after I'd been making parts and pieces for it for other rotaries to improve those. I'd been doing that for 9 months or so at that point.
So at this point, you know rotaries pretty well. Like
Oh yeah,
whenever try to make one, you did make one, and then you tinker with an old one, you all kinds of stuff. So you understood the whole concept at least.
oh yeah, yeah. It's
So I think that's like what a lot of people don't understand the concept. Like just like Eric, he came in, and once he saw it in action, like, oh, that all makes sense now. And
yeah.
but like just looking at like, why do I need a rotary? What does that really do?
Well, I mean, it's more nowadays. It's more, why do I need one that's so expensive?
Yeah.
It's not so much why do I need one, because if you don't have it as a laser business these days, you're gonna get left behind. Because one, it's the quickest and easiest ROI that you're ever gonna see laser engraving.
Yeah.
I mean, it literally is.
A lot of overhead to it.
Well, I mean, like, we don't have a lot of overhead.
I mean, it's like with my DTF, I got to buy rolls, I got to buy
Yeah.
glue, I got to buy ink, we got to make sure it's always up and running right. There's not as much overhead, with the lasers.
Yeah, because like
jobs.
for me, I have JDS. I use JDS in house. So if people buy from me, they're getting JDS. I have a warehouse 15, 20 minutes from my shop.
Drive down the road and
I just drive and go pick it up within an hour. I can have it. But so that makes it a lot easier as far as that goes. But as far as like what to do, I mean, you could engrave anything you want. But having that, I don't have to carry a lot of overhead, because I can take an order from a customer and say they want 24 purple cups, 20-ounce cups. All right, order 20 or 24 purple cups.
And you know what your profit is and everything off it. So it's real just set in stone basically.
Well, not even that, but it's just I don't have to carry the overhead. I don't have to carry that on the shelf.
Just made like basically order as they come, as the order comes in.
I mean, the only like you've seen a lot of stuff on my shelf at the shop.
It was a lot, but honestly, I thought there would be more, because I would think you'd be like really, really stocking stuff. But then it makes sense that if you just go down the road, you just need to have enough there, and so you can get whatever.
Well, a lot of it's just like they need 40 cups. Well, they sell them in 25 or 24 cases.
So you always have a few extra.
So I just grab 2 cases. Yeah. I do the 40. I have 8 left over. So that's why I have a variety of stuff on the shelf, is because I have stuff left over.
Made me a cup today.
I had stuff left over, and that's what I have. So I mean, I don't go out and buy.
You just don't go buy stock. It's always like what you have left over from jobs.
The only stock we keep is black 20 and 30 ounce. And we keep stock of all the different 40 ounce. Just because
they're
colors.
So common, basically.
Because I mean, they'll sell eventually. Like, they're not costing me anything sitting on a shelf. I already own them. So, but those are the most common. You got black. We do red and blue a lot, because a lot of schools around here are red, blue, and like yellow. So we have red, blue, and yellow as we carry a little bit of extra stuff in that. So, if they need 10 or 15 of them, we got enough. So those are the 4 colors we really kind of keep on hand. Other than that, it's just random stuff.
So when did JER Customs really start?
Officially, it was 2016.
2016, and then
I was on deployment and
created the rotary around 2018, 2019.
Well, my original rotary, yes, was in 2018.
When did you decide that that's what you wanted to invest more time into?
Well, I mean, I don't know. It had a lot to do with money, to be honest. I just got out of the military. Didn't have a job. I had like my personal account and stuff at the time. I didn't really have anything separated. But I had a savings account that I used for the business to kind of keep things a little separate at the time. And I had about $1,000 in there. And that's how Roto Boss was born.
$1,000 in your savings account?
I had about $1,000 in my savings account, and I dumped every penny of it into I bought a bunch of random stuff. Like, oh, that looks like that might work. Oh, that might work. I bought a bunch of stuff, brought it in, and I just put it together until it worked. And that's where this all came from.
So
So I bought one of them. I bought a 3D printer, a new one that could do this, because the original one I have is in my shop or my office in the house. It was a Omega 3 or a, I don't know. It's like a predecessor to like the Prusas and stuff. i3 Mega or Omega or something like that. That was my original, and it was just something to play around with.
Which I saw you had some pretty cool ones now.
Yeah, we got Prusas and X1 carbines. Like my original Prusa that I started with is at the shop.
Yeah.
It's up in the rafters, and I'll probably never use it again, but that's the original printer that basically started everything.
So you spent your $1,000 buying a 3D printer, figuring this out, and then once you figured this out, what was the next step? Was it where you're just like, I'm full scale, I'm gonna go into selling rotaries, or were you kind of still kind of like, oh, I got me a cool rotary?
Before I even did that, I had a lot of traction with the adapters that I was making for other rotaries.
Just adapters.
Just selling the clamp, and that's what this is modeled after. It's modeled exactly after the part that I made.
It just holds
holds
the cut basically.
Yeah, but the only thing different about it is this for the mug spacer and stuff. This how it attaches is a little bit different, but the clamp idea has been the same since I started making those adapters. I just adapted that to this.
Gotcha.
So yeah, I mean, it just, I don't know, it all just kind of snowballed. But what led me to actually doing this was people would ask, like, are you gonna make a rotary, or do you have a rotary? No, I don't. And that's kind of how everything starts. Like, can you do this? No, but I can. So that's why I got printers and embroidery machine. That's why I got all that stuff now. Because at one point it was like, no, I don't do it, but
figure it out.
I'll figure it out. Yeah, I can do it.
How we are too.
So it started out with the adapters, and then, like I said, people were asking about rotaries and things like that, because there was a couple other companies that were making some very crude rotaries at the time. And those companies are still around. They're more on like the diodes and things like that. That's kind of where they're
more big, heavy chuck style ones.
Well, like H&M rotaries or something like that. I don't even remember the other ones, but there's a couple of them. So there was other people that had or started making similar items, and then I basically took the idea of like the cantilevered system, the mechanical lifting system. Like nobody had that before. It was all, loosen a knob, raise it up or down, and tighten it down.
Check it, make sure it's right, adjust it some more.
Yep. That's all anybody had. Nobody had a mechanically functioning rotary to where you didn't have to do that. And like with ours, I learned, well, this one probably has, I don't know if it has the new one or not. No, it has the newer ones on it. Now, when I started out, like there's different types of lead screws.
Yeah.
The different pitches, all that stuff.
That was fun figuring out.
It was interesting because this one.
I mean, I saw how many screws are at your shop now. Like I wouldn't even know where to start. If you were like, give me all the parts of a rotary and tell me to do what one of your employees would do, I don't think I can do it. Yeah. There's just so many moving parts to it.
Like I said,
I don't think people really know. Like they're very intricate.
The most parts for any of them, I think, is close to 300. It's like 270, 280 some pieces, like individual pieces. They got to get put together, lined up, but like with this, so the different pitches on the lead screws, like this has a different pitch than these two do. So this moves twice as fast as these because of the pitch. But did
that knowledge come from your rotary mechanics in the Navy? Is that how you understood all this, do you think?
No.
It's just you just started messing with it and trial and error.
Like I said, I'm not shitting you. Like I bought probably $300 or $400 worth of just parts.
Yeah.
Screws, nuts, washers, lead screws, freaking, rubber bands, O-rings for stuff to make the wheels.
I sent you my little makeshift tray, with my 2 rulers and my magnet.
But it literally started out that way. And the thing is, like this, I learned early on to use a different pitch here. And then someone else came out with another rotary but they didn't know, or they weren't smart enough to figure that out. So they had issues with theirs. And it was one of those things. It's like, you know, you can kind of look at things and try to mimic, but unless you actually put the effort in,
You don't know.
it ain't gonna work. Because the problem was, like, these would fall on their own, just under light pressure, or a cup sitting on them. They could fall. Like, it would just fall because there's not enough resistance because of the pitch of the thread.
That out.
It's like going down a hill that's this steep, or going down a hill that's this steep. You're gonna go slower down a hill this steep,
Yeah.
but you're gonna be much more controlled, right? You're going like this, you're gonna go a lot faster with less control, and that's kind of the concept behind the lead screws. And anybody that's ever tried that has basically failed miserably. And we did. I'm not gonna lie, we did it at the beginning, and
So
but it was
like
caught.
you had your aha moment.
It was caught quick though.
It's kind of like, aha, this is a problem. I got to fix it.
Because our solution was, like you see here, you got 2 holes. That one has 2 holes. Basically, you run a thumb screw in, and it'd bind up against the tower, and that's what would lock it in place.
Yeah.
Because that was a problem that we had, but I figured it out very early on. Probably 10 or 20 machines in, I figured out that was going to be an issue, and then those dots basically come obsolete. But that's why those holes are there originally, was to lock it and stop it from dropping.
So you finally, I guess, finalize this, and then you're still just making things for people around here, and you just have the rotary, and now people are asking you if you can get a rotary. Is that what sparked the, aha, maybe I do need to start some sort of rotary company? Or did you just make one for a buddy, or did you just kind of go all in on it?
I mean, it was, once like anything else I do, I kind of lead up to, or kind of tease about it, kind of get people's feedback, and kind of
the silent marketing, basically.
Yeah, kind of feel the energy in the room, so to speak. Hey, I might have a rotary, or hey,
I get it. I've done the same thing. Patch it up pro. I'll be like, hey, anyone?
Would you be interested in something like this? And then after I got enough people, they're like, yeah, I'd do it. Then, I was like, all right, well, I guess I'm all in.
Yeah.
And it wasn't anything big. I mean, we were the only ones that had one like this. We were the first ones to have one like this. But, like I said, everybody else had the manual. Everyone else had the manual adjustment. You lifted and lowered and tightened something down.
So your response is, it kind of from everyone is like, that's cool. Like, what's up with that? And then it kind of, I guess, got you sparked to start looking more into it and seeing what you could offer once there was some interest in it.
And then some people got them and gave me feedback, and any changes or updates. It's kind of like what I do now is, if I have something that's kind of in a beta phase, I'll send people will buy the product. Instead of doing like a Kickstarter or something like that,
you'll let them know that it's a beta product. If there's issues, let me know. I'll fix it, or I'll replace it, or I'll give you an upgrade, or whatever.
Like, hey, this is 95% done, but I need someone other than myself.
Yeah.
So and by this point,
that part's the hard part in any business, because like getting people to test your product, no one's invested in it like you are, and so but you've already banged your head around trying to figure it out, and you hit every wall you can. You just need that those other eyes, and someone just to see it, so you can be like, okay, that makes more sense.
Well, it is a lot of that, and it's the fact that if you're the only one that has eyes on it, you're not gonna see the stuff that others will see with a fresh set of eyes, like you say. Or if you walk away from a bit, you come back and you're like, oh crap, yeah.
That's what I was saying, kind of like Patch It Up Pro. I basically, had to just put it out there, and kind of honestly, I grabbed screenshots of an idea I had from a sticker builder online. I was like, hey, I'm making this thing, and it was not even created, and I was like, hey, I'm making this thing. Would y'all be interested? And then obviously I got some feedback, and then now we are where we are because of the same stuff. But it's me.
Yep. I mean, and it's a lot of businesses do that, but like I didn't know what Kickstarters was back. I didn't know any of that crap. Like, all I knew is I had something that was really cool to me, and I had a couple people buy into it, and like I do now, because I just recently with the Mark 88, the one that works with the Mamaki, the Trotec, and the Epilogue. I 3D printed parts, adapters to go on those different machines, and people bought the stuff knowing that, but it was always okay, once we figure this out, you guys will get the parts. Like we just sent out probably 20 or 30 parts kits to people that bought these devices.
Like upgrade kits.
Yeah, because they're metal now. The pieces are metal. Everything's been kind of finalized. I got the pieces and I mailed everything out to everybody, just like I've done many times before. Like even with my Chuck when I first started out, we had released the Talon, the original Talon, not the Pro, and we had a good run, and all of a sudden we started having manufacturing issues. Like parts weren't machined quite right or something, and things weren't lining up, so it kind of made the cups wobble and things. So we had some issues that we caught. We let people know. We were upfront and honest. Let people know, hey, we found an issue. It's not a major issue, but it's an issue nonetheless. So we're gonna fix it.
You're just honest about it.
Yeah,
at least.
I mean,
instead of being lying about it, like, oh, this is a finished product.
Well, instead of like, oh, hey, why is my cup wobbling? Oh, I don't know.
I don't know. You actually try. You care, so you actually fix it for them.
So I mean, and that's what it was. Like when I got the new parts, and I mean, it cost me a lot of money, obviously, because I had to make new parts, get them shipped here, send them out.
Old parts, so you got shipping, the remaking.
Yeah. So there was a lot involved in that, but it's one of those things. I'm not gonna make something up or cover something up. If I made a mistake, I'll let you know, and we'll work around it.
Yeah.
If you don't want to do that, then that's on you.
You don't have to buy it.
Well, I mean, like when I let people know, some people were kind of upset, but it's like,
trying to be honest.
I'm being honest with you. I'm letting you know, hey, we found an issue. I'm being proactive about it. I'm fixing it, and then you're going to get the parts to fix it. So a lot of people got nearly a whole new head once all that stuff come in. And we'd send them out to everybody and gave them a little instructions on how to.
And y'all still do that
it.
To this day. Like if you were telling me earlier, if you do an upgrade, you try to make it where it fits already what you have. So it's just a switch out basically for them.
Well, it's like any Rotoboss that we sell today. All the parts will fit on this from over 6 years ago.
Because the concept's always been the same. It's just making it better.
Yeah, well, just improving the fit and the finish and everything else. You could literally take pretty much every single part off, if not every single part off of here, like plastic part that's on here, and put it on a new rotary, and it'll fit, and it'll work.
So the design,
we consider it backwards compatible, I guess.
Since you made the design, like it's it hasn't changed. It's basically your design, so you're confident that you could just improve it without having to like lose your old design.
Yeah. So. And just refine it.
Yeah.
Fix the problems that people like. The biggest problem is when these were made. This one, the Junior, we have one that's called the Low Roller, which we have, but we don't promote or really advertise any. But at the time, those were perfect. We didn't have water bottles. We didn't have all these different shaped containers. So at some point, we had to redefine what these can do. So kind of went back to the drawing board a little bit with, like, especially with the arms and stuff. Those were changed up so they have a lot more travel up and down. The motor side was lowered and slimmed out and kind of more low profile to accommodate those newer types of things. Same thing with our Junior. But
this is kind of like, right, I guess, when did the Yeti cups come out that everyone, because it was like a craze, it was around like 2015, 2016, right?
Cups really didn't start getting big until...
I'm trying to think, because I got a Yeti cup, and it was like I remember the Christmas, my stepmom went all over town trying to find one of these Yeti cups, just a stainless steel, 32 ounce. I think she put a sticker.
Well, yeah, it had a big rush. Stanley's had a big rush a couple years ago. Yetis have always been popular, but they had a big rush in the early 2020s.
Yeah, but they're still relatively 10 years old to these these tumblers and stuff that everyone's.
Well, yeah, but now you got like milk bottle looking
they got all kinds of
things
stuff.
And the stemless wine glasses and all this other stuff that we didn't have back then, so it wasn't an issue. But when it became an issue, you
got to figure out
had
how
a solution
make it
for
work.
it, And like at one point, anybody that got one of the OGs with the plastic plates and everything, we had a metal upgrade kit where they could upgrade the plates to metal at one point. Same thing with all the plastic. We had an upgrade kit for all the plastic pieces. Once we went all metal, we had a kit that you could buy and upgrade all your plastic to metal. And we still have that on our website. I mean, we haven't sold one in a long time because
Everyone's upgraded.
most people just upgraded the whole thing. But I mean, like this rotary, this was our top of the line, mind you. This thing was like $400
When it came out.
back in the day. Yeah, like $400 or $500.
What's the cost of them now?
They range 12 to 1400.
Materials are much better. I will say that.
Oh, yeah.
Like I looked at them a lot today, and I really, those things are sharp. Like
Yep.
they're very, very well made. So
yeah, I mean, I take pride in that. Like just having, I mean, you can tell the difference. These aren't milled; they're just sharp edges, sharp corners. And to me, like if you're gonna pay that kind of money for something, it needs to look the part as much as
they do
as much as it is the part.
I can see why this was $400. The new ones are $1,200.
Well, I mean, this one was a little bit more because this was when it upgraded to the metal plates. But the originals,
I could see though, just
with the plastic, I mean, they were dirt cheap compared to what they are now.
Those new ones are like I say, they're sharp. Like, they got nice, just the colors and everything on them. They just look so high tech and new age.
Yeah, I mean, we started out red and black.
And it's crazy because it's the same thing. But then the new ones, they do look like a whole new, a whole new technology in them. And then, now that I've learned a little more about it, it's like they're the same thing. It's just that, that one's better. You've upgraded it. So.
Yeah, they upgraded materials, adjustability. Some of the components are upgraded, like the bearings are different. We don't use bearing blocks on the back or pivot bearings on the thing anymore. They're all solid bearing blocks.
You got this one out. You started kind of pushing the idea. They're starting to sell. Is that when you just kind of like you wanted to go even more invested in making rotaries, or were you still just doing the maker thing and kind of like here's a rotary on the side. Here's were you doing rotaries on the side? I guess that was your side hustle at the time.
I mean, yeah, that was my side hustle. Cause a lot of stuff at that time was like throwing stuff to the wall to see what would stick, kind of thing. And I did embroidery. I did vinyl graphics. I did woodwork. I did laser engraving and some CNC stuff, and then I did embroidery. And sometimes one would carry the bills, and the next month something else would carry the bills. Like it was just it was just
I get there occasionally still.
Yeah. And it just that's kind of just how everything happened. Is not one thing or not everything carried its own weight.
They all work together and mesh well, and
then these just kind of got sprinkled in around that kind of stuff.
So when did it really just take off though? I guess from where it went from making a few here to now I got a warehouse.
Well, I mean, the warehouse thing just happened 4 years ago, 4 years ago. I mean, it doesn't.
Time flies when you're having fun.
It doesn't seem like that long ago, but thinking about it's like 4 years. Holy crap! So like I started out in my shop here at the house. Well, the business started out in a spare room in my house.
Much like most of our,
which I was doing vinyl cutting and embroidery. That's all I was really doing, and I did some woodwork out here in my shop. I mean, that shop's been through so many transformations. I wish
a car shop now.
Dude, I wish so bad that I would have taken pictures and kind of documented the progress. But everything happened so quick. Yeah. Like I didn't have a chance or time to. Oh, let me take pictures.
That's literally my problem all the time. I do so much. Like I just get so involved in the project, that I'm like locked in. Like it's got to be perfect on this.
Yeah.
You got to document some of it because then every time I would go back after I'd finished the project, I regret like, man, I wish I would have seen what this looked like before. Why didn't I take the before picture? And and the crazy thing is a lot of times I think about it, like I'll do a before picture here in just a minute.
Yeah.
And then I'll just like, no, I'm just going to keep working on this. And then it's like, okay, you're done. Oh crap. I forgot that before picture.
Yep. That's exactly what I do. And looking back, like I wish I would have kept the old unit that I had. But at the time, like I said, I had to literally scrounge for every part that I had. It wasn't like, oh yeah, I'll just set this one aside and I'll start another one. Like I didn't have money
to do that. That was your investment.
Yeah, so I had to take the pieces off of that I could reuse on the new one. And that's just kind of how things, because like I said, this is not the way it looked originally because it don't have the plastic plates. It used to have these metal pillow bearings on both sides.
So this is the original, but it's not the original.
It's the original that's been modified through the time.
Yeah.
Because
it's seen some things.
Yeah. So it's been around for a while. It hasn't been used in probably 5 years. when I made upgrades and changes, I made them to this because, like, I wasn't big. It wasn't something I was selling 10, 20, 30 a week or whatever. It wasn't anything like it is now. You know, I mean, we're selling, I don't even know how many a month between distributors and online and things like that. But like, I still didn't have enough money to just set the old one aside and say, oh, I'll build a new one.
Yeah.
So I did the same thing. I changed the metal plates, so I took all the plastic off, put the metal on, just things like that. And that's how it evolved to a point where I was able to like stop messing with that and actually build
Created a whole new one based off
one.
on that idea.
Yep. And
so when did you do that?
well, I mean, it went in stages. So we've officially announced or launched Rotoboss in November 1st of 2019, which is my birthday. So I found it fitting to start Rotoboss on my birthday.
So you can remember your starting date every year.
It's like, when did oh yeah, I know. Or if I forget my birthday and I remember this, I can be like, oh yeah, my birthday is November 1st.
You had JER Customs before for a few years, and then you started Rotoboss on your birthday, and then that's when you wanted to go invest yourself more into that now that you had the concept made and everything, or were you still just kind of like
no, I was still doing everything. I've never stopped doing all the other stuff that I do.
Yeah.
It's just the equipment's gotten bigger and
better
and over the years. So everything I'm doing currently that you saw at my shop today, I've been doing for some varying 7 to 10 years. Some of them I've kind of picked up a little later, like DTF. I only started doing that about 5 years ago. Same thing with the UV printing. About 5 years ago, I did that. Went to a freaking trade show and was just dumbfounded and just bought a bunch of shit. So I bought a bunch of stuff, and the UV printer and a DTF printer was two of them.
So obviously those are good investments,
Well, yeah.
You're still doing them.
And I got them mainly initially to do our own stuff because everybody that buys a rotary, we typically give a shirt, a hat, a bag.
I mean, I saw y'all's goodie bag. It was stickers, a bag, a shirt, all kinds of stuff in there.
Yeah, we phased out the hats and the shirts. We just finished up with what we had for hats. But we'll still do the bags, the stickers, all that stuff. And we change the stickers up all the time.
Like, it's always fun doing that, especially like AI now that you can create the ideas so fast. And so
we've done quite a few AI stickers. Had a design guy that worked for me. He done several designs and stuff, but he's since moved on to graduating college and doing his own thing now. But so yeah, we use our vinyl printer to make our own stickers. We use our DTF to make our own shirts or apparel, but now we're also doing stuff locally and hopefully soon be getting your software to help do hat patches and other stuff if it can do it or however that turns out in the future. So that would be probably the next thing I do to help out with that. Because though I don't really need it right now.
Yeah.
It'd be nice to mess with it because it's kind of like, I think of it looking back. I started with Lightburn, back in 26 or 18, right around when they first like started, and all it was basically just
it's improved a lot.
A piece of software that basically was the intermediary between your design software and it talked to the laser. And it did some other stuff, but it was very...
I mean, I've been on Lightburn for maybe 4 years, and it's improved so much even since then just like, the functionality of it, but then just the little bitty added features they add here and there. And I don't even know them all. Like, you taught me some stuff today just watching what you were doing.
Yeah. I've been on with I say on, I'm not affiliated or anything, but I've been a part of Lightburn's growth pretty much since the beginning. And I've done some beta stuff for them in the past, especially with the rotaries several years ago when rotaries with the Galvos when they first came out with the Galvo version. I helped do some beta stuff with that with the rotary and stuff. But
you're a pioneer in this rotary game.
I wouldn't. I mean, I'm not a pioneer. There was people doing it well before me, but I've put my take on it, my signature on it, and I'll continue to do that until I'm not able to anymore. But Yeah. So I mean and I see your program as something similar to that. I mean, there's other stuff out there similar to what you have, but you have your own unique features to it. You know, obviously, if people want to know what those are, they can look it up.
Patchituppro.com.
They can look that stuff up and see, because I'm not the one to say it.
Yeah.
And if you say it, you're just boasting about your own product. Yeah. So it's one of those things. I would definitely take a look at it if you're interested in it, because
I let the product speak for itself.
Well, I mean, we sat down yesterday after picking it from the airport and stuff, going over it, and you're like, "Hey, check this out. This is what it can do." And I'm like, "What?"
Yeah.
Like
I forget sometimes what it could do. To be honest,
I spend a freaking hour doing what you did in like 5 minutes.
Yeah,
like,
it's.
I mean, it's crazy. So, yeah, I would definitely check it out if you guys are looking for something like that, especially if you're doing the hat stuff.
Got to always be upgrading and fixing the original concept and proving it. I
mean, that's all you can do, get the feedback, and that's what we've done. Not just with the rotaries, but everything that we've done. Like, we're doing AppleAir Filter Systems right now for lasers, lasers, printers, welding, cutting.
Those things are cool too.
We've got basically every facet covered, and we're also kind of learning, because it's a whole new company. Like, it's a whole new brand, it's a whole new product. It's something that nobody else does, because like our filters are washable, so you're not spending hundreds or thousands of dollars a year buying new filters every 3, 4, 5, 6 months, whatever it is, at hundreds or thousands of dollars a pop. You just wash it, dry it off, throw it back in the machine, and you're off and running. So, you know, but we're learning as well. Like, hey, people have them. They're saying this, like, this is difficult. We're having a problem with this, or you know,
improve it,
and we improve it and come out with something else. Like, we got our new AI series, which is leaning more towards like sensors and switches and automation with Wi-Fi. It's going to have app eventually, so you'll be able to turn it on and off. You can get a report like your filter, this zone is clogged or pressure's high or whatever. Like, so there's a lot of different things that'll be included in that eventually, and that's all based off of customer feedback and what they want and what they see as a benefit. And then we've also cut things out that people don't care for. Like, it doesn't unnecessary. Something not really needed, but
sounded cool in your head when you were putting it together, and you're like, this doesn't really do anything.
Yeah, and that's another thing too. If you're not listening to your customers,
you can't just take your own ideas all the time. Like, a lot of the stuff I did with Patch Pro, I took from the community. I was like, listened to all the problems they had, you know, and everything, and just kind of took all that in. Had a big list of stuff of, you know, things I've seen people struggle with, and just try to find solutions for all of them.
Yeah. And that's the biggest thing, man. Just listen to your customers. I mean, obviously, not everybody's making rotaries or software. I mean, that's literally but it's anything you're doing. Like, if you go to markets and real fairs and things like that, and you're taking a bunch of stuff and you're not getting sales, it's not necessarily because your stuff sucks. It's just not what people want.
Yeah, ask them.
So ask people, like, okay, I understand you don't want to buy anything, but what?
So it goes back to the networking.
Yeah.
You know, like what you said, like, even if you're not selling stuff, at least, you know, be out there talking to people so you can see, you know, what you need to do to improve.
I mean, just find out, like, I guess, oh, no, thanks. I don't want to get anything.
Yeah.
Well, okay, can you tell me, is there something wrong with my product, or
no, I just ain't got no money. Okay, that's a good excuse, but
but a lot of people will say that just because they don't want to, they want to avoid conflict. But if you can get
a lot of time, if you could just break that ice with people, though, you can convert them if you know just how to talk to people and how to deal with people.
Say, like, we're a growing business. We're trying to kind of feel out the market, what people like. Is your decision based on because you just don't like the type of stuff that we provide? And if so, what would you like to see? What kind of things would you like to see? Like, just get feedback from people. Don't be afraid to ask them.
You gotta be open to that feedback too. You can't just be closed-minded because you like it this way.
Yeah, you can't be like, oh, you don't like it green? Well, forget you. I'm gonna make it green anyways. You know, like, you can't be mad at people for, especially if you're asking for it. You can't
especially
be mad
asking
at people
for their money. You know.
Yeah.
Like,
you're trying to get their money out of their pocket and into yours.
Yep.
And if you're not at least trying to figure out what they need, and you're just trying to force something that you have on them, even if whether they need it or not, you know, that's just not the way to do business. Because they might buy from you out of pity, or just, again, avoiding conflict, but they're never going to be your customer again. Yeah, and I've done that to people. Like,
I've done that a lot.
I've bought just out of sympathy or whatever because of the situation. but I'll be damned if I'm going to be a customer of theirs again.
Yeah.
You know, and it's not because I don't like them. It's not because
I've bought stuff from people that I know how to do what they're doing really well.
Yeah.
And I bought it from them to support them, to give them feedback so they could at least feel like it was coming from, you know, someone who was supportive of them at least, you know.
Yeah.
Like, and it's just, you know, me being a nice person overall. But, you know, I don't like seeing people struggle, you know, and like I get it. They're out there trying to hustle, you know, and sometimes they don't know that, hey, if you make this little small adjustment right here, it might change everything for you.
Yep. And that's all it takes sometimes is just listening. And I mean, you don't have to take everything to heart.
No.
You don't have to take everything.
Take everything with a grain of salt.
Yeah, and you don't have to change it just because one person says it.
Yeah.
That's just one person's opinion. But if you have reservation based on what they said,
maybe you should look into
probably
it.
a good idea to look into it and entertain that as a possibility. But
I'm gonna put this out there right now. I'm gonna ask you: Did we know each other before any of this?
No,
absolutely not. I didn't know you from Adam.
I mean,
I reached out for a rotary maybe a year ago, and I didn't go through with it.
Yeah, it was about a year or two ago. Because when I messaged you, like I said, I didn't know who you were.
We just dropped the Josh episode.
I saw Josh's episode. I really liked the format, layout, what you were doing, and everything.
And then you asked to kind of,
and I just wanted to get
the product shoot.
It was just a product shoot, and then you're like, "Hey, we're doing this. Can we do an interview?" I'm like, I mean,
you told me though. This is one of the things you said. You're like, "Hey, you're gonna get a lot of pushback from the community," and I got thick skin. It doesn't bother me, but I was like, "Oh, whatever, dude. I don't know who you think you are." I knew nothing about this situation, about any of this. I'm just being honest. I live under a rock when it comes to that stuff.
You didn't know what the hell you were getting into.
No, I didn't, and I messed up a little bit. I went and posted it, and this is when I realized how big it was. I do social media stuff pretty well. I market and post. When I post a bunch of groups that are relevant. Usually, I post to a certain group. They didn't like it. Yeah. I messaged that person, told them I apologize. You know what I mean, for doing that. And I didn't know what it was about. And I kept trying to ask people like, hey, what's happening? No one would give me a clear answer. Finally, a few people did. What happened? Like, what's your side of the story of this whole situation?
It's one side of the story that's been told for...
You definitely are the villain to some people's little fairy tale.
Well, I mean, somebody's got to be the villain, I guess. But, I mean, it's funny. Because it's the same people. You look over the past whatever, they'll get their little kicks off of, just so you remember what Roto Boss is doing, just stupid stuff like that. I mean, I'm not into it. I'm here to do what I'm here to do: build rotaries, help the community. In the end,
you were just protecting your intellectual property and your stuff.
Well, I mean, it started several years ago. Like, I'm not the one that started things. Yeah. Like, this started several years ago, but I kept quiet.
You were sued first?
Yeah, I was sued first. Back in 2023, right before LBX, the first LBX. But I mean, a lot of people don't know that. Yeah. Because they're obviously not saying that. So they don't. No one really says that. I mean, they've said it, but it's been like, hey, we did this a little while back. Like it's just been like really hush hush, and it's not mentioned again. It's like, oh, we said it. Yeah. But so
you just push back eventually.
No, I let them run their mouth. I mean, I'm not worried about what they have to say. I mean, it doesn't affect me. It hasn't affected me, and it won't affect me. So I mean, I showed you a text tonight that I got sent from somebody, where one of them was bullying some guy just because he said I had this. Other rotary.
He was not even taking a side. No, like he was literally just letting it be known I have both, and this is like what I like about this because of this, and they just went in on it.
But it was just automatically, oh, you must be paid, or you must. I'd have to pull it up to see, but it was stupid. Like literally attacking somebody just for making a comment.
I don't know
about a preference that they have.
I don't know how people have so much time to do that. Whenever I get in my troll mode, we'll call it, it takes a lot of my time. It does. And it takes a lot of just from me that like, why would you want to give that to someone, that's basically not, you're letting them live rent free in your head. Yeah. And
I'm very grateful for being rent free. Yeah. Because rent's pretty expensive these days. Yeah. But it's,
if they focus more on what they were doing and theirs, they wouldn't be worried about this.
Yeah, if people would put more effort into their business than trying to cancel somebody.
Yeah, they tried to cancel my show and say that,
Yeah.
all kinds of stuff.
Well,
and I'm just like, I literally started the channel a week ago, and you're acting like I don't have anything going on with it.
These people, whoever it was, but they're their own people, so to speak, people that they're friends with, like they harassed them.
Yeah.
They called the hotel that they were where they were putting on the show to try to get them in trouble with the hotel because I was coming. Saying it was unsafe, they needed security, all this other. Like, are you serious? Like, how?
The crazy thing is, like, when you told me this and the whole can of worms open, and they're like, just look on the internet, you can find it. All I found on the internet is them talking just mad shit about you. I did not find anything of you bad mouthing anyone. I'm not trying to make you sound like an angel at all. But like, I didn't see much about, I saw a few things, I'm not gonna lie, a couple of them, that were whatever, but like the stuff that was kind of, I saw on the flip side, it's like, man, like, why are y'all so mean?
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the thing is, ever since it started, like, I haven't said anything. The stuff that they're bringing up now, they're also failing to tell people that this was years ago.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of if you see anything, like, if anybody sees anything from me regarding them that they posted, just know it's been over a year.
Yes.
Probably close to 2 years since I've said anything to anybody.
I can validate that because whenever I was doing my research as a reporter, I looked into you. I went on your page, I scrolled, I did all kinds of stuff because I did want to know more, and like you kind of just stuck to business every day. After that, there's, like you say, I went far enough back, I saw a couple things, and you didn't cross any
Well,
lines.
I made a couple
like
posts to try to, like,
you like to poke the trolls a little bit.
I post a lot of stuff off TikTok.
Yeah.
Like, I find stuff interesting, what people say, motivational, just.
Some people feel like that's directed at them.
Well, yeah, I just keep doing what I'm doing.
That's all you can do.
I mean, I don't know. I will continue to ascend, and we got a lot of stuff coming for 2026. We're going to be hopefully releasing something new at APA if it gets here in time and everything gets finalized. We should have a couple things to show at APA, a release for 2026, which is going to be a game changer for sure, in a lot of different ways. But I'm keeping my head down, doing my thing, and whatever. I mean, I expect they'll probably start doing stuff again when it gets closer to APA. They always do.
Well, I'm just gonna tell them, I put this man on some AI, and he's a monster now. Y'all thought he was a monster before. Y'all better watch out. He's unhinged now and ready to go.
I've taken a few lessons in the past couple of days, but yeah, I mean, that's kind of the thing too, is like when you announced your show,
yeah,
like, you immediately got blast.
Yeah, and honestly, it's
like when APA comes around in February, I guarantee you, in February, mark my words, trolls included, they're gonna say something. They're gonna start shit again. They always do right before.
Hopefully, they don't break into your shop again, though.
Yeah, that was
those little trolls.
Last night, like freaking 2:00 in the morning. But in the end, it doesn't affect me. I'm just gonna keep doing my job. I'm gonna keep hustling, and they'll watch me win. I mean, it's to me, it's that simple. I was in the military for 20 years. Like, I've got really thick skin. Nothing anybody's gonna say to me is gonna bother me. Like, you may knock me down, you may hurt me, but you're not gonna defeat me. Like, it's not gonna happen. So if you're trying, I mean, keep trying, I guess. But it's not gonna work. I can promise you that.
He's gonna ascend.
I'm trying to take care of the maker community. We got the Rotoboss rodeo that we do. We do drawings for free training, like a free 2-hour training. We've done that several times. We did the Rotoboss rodeo, which is a great success. We're going to do it again in the spring, like I said, and hopefully you guys will be able to come back for that. Hopefully some of you guys watching might be able to join us. It's going to be a small group again, probably 10 to 15 people, because obviously you've seen we don't have a whole lot of room where we're at currently, but hopefully by then we'll have a new place, a bigger place, but it just depends on things. But yeah, so I wish I could go into more.
Yeah.
I don't know how many questions you had about that.
That was about it. For the most part, we kind of covered it. I mean, you said something earlier that kind of resonated with me. Your whole brand is eagles and talons, and so you're the eagle taking it up there, and you're just gonna let it die off however it dies.
Yeah, I mean, if anybody knows about bald eagles and stuff, it's all over my body. Like, I'm just a huge fan of eagles. And recently I had the Ascend Pro and the Talon Pro. And other than the Roto Boss and the Junior and the Low Roller, the original ones, everything that I've built has a theme. Like we talked about the boot, going back to boot camp, basic training. It's got dog tags, all that stuff. So it's themed. Because, and I'm big on Greek mythology, things like that. So, like when I did RC stuff, I had Apep, Perseus, Kintro. Those were the names of my chassis. Like the god of death and war and just different things. And with the rotaries, like the Ascend, like we talked about. I don't know if we got that on film at the shop or not. Maybe we did, maybe we didn't.
Maybe, I can't remember.
But with the Ascend, the whole theme behind Ascend, if you know anything about eagles, bald eagles in particular, when they ascend, usually they'll ascend if they're being attacked by a prey or a predator, like crows or things like that. They'll latch onto their back and they'll peck at them. Well, the eagle will just keep climbing higher and higher until it falls off because it can't handle the height. That they can't breathe and they can't handle the height. So that you're ascending.
This is what you're doing. You're leaving. Situation.
You're leaving everybody behind.
Ascend right through and leave everyone behind.
And then you have the Daredevil. The Daredevil is the marriage between the Ascend and the Talon. Well, the Daredevil also has a meaning with eagles. So when eagles are mating, they'll climb. Yeah. They'll latch onto each other and they'll get into the death spiral. Yeah. Or the Daredevil spiral. It's basically they'll just spiral to the ground until they get to a certain point and they'll fly off, and
that's how they mate.
That's how they. Well, that's how they court each other.
Gotcha.
So that's marrying two things together. That's the theme behind that. And then the talon itself just stems from the fact that an eagle's talons, there's 4 of them. Well, our Talon rotary has 4 jaws, so that's kind of how that came about. And then like our Mark 88, Mark 44, those just, it originally came after like the Mamaki Kebab MK, because that's what it was originally. I originally fitted it to.
So just like a product name, more or less.
It was, but now it's just Mark 88. It's 88 millimeters in diameter, so it's the Mark 88. Then we have the Mark 44, which is the new one, that little tiny thing. It looks like a little fidget spinner. The Mark 44, it's 44 millimeters across. So that's kind of how that comes across, like they do with the D90, D60, D80. It's all the diameter of the chuck.
So you got the rodeo coming up. You got a big mysterious release that we couldn't even see. I tried. I tried to poke around in the office and see what I could see. Well,
that one's something totally different.
I still poked around, tried to see it. I was on your computer, I was going through your files and everything. Sure. I was looking, and I couldn't find anything.
Yeah. No, we just.
What's your plans for 2026 outside the rodeo and your big unveil?
Well, I'm gonna get my dad's car fixed and finished.
That was pretty sweet. I saw that last night.
So that's gonna get finished, hopefully sooner than later. Other than that, we got a bunch of stuff planned, events, APA, ISA, Light LBX, Next Level. If they're still doing all these events, so we're just gonna keep plugging away. We're not gonna stop. And we'll see what happens. But, with what we got coming out is going to be something big for us. And then we got some other irons in the fire with other things that we're working on. One being what was on the desk there that was covered up.
I could have picked up that sheet, by the way. I just didn't. I'm just going to say, I poked around, but I didn't pick up the sheet.
Yeah. Well, I tucked it in there and did things so I'd know if it had been messed with.
But put little pieces of tape on the edge to see they were released.
But that's something totally different, and that's just one.
So you got big things happening. You're going to continue innovating and creating and trying to change the industry as much as you can.
As a fact. Yep. We're not going to stop.
We came up with an idea that we got in
Yep.
play last night that hopefully we'll be, bringing around soon.
Yeah, we'll have to talk about that some more and see.
I want to get
what
it
we
out
can
there
do.
a little before we put too
Well,
much
we got a
details
couple
out
of things
there.
technically.
Yeah.
One you did in like 15 minutes at dinner last night.
Yeah.
And then the other one,
I'm good at what I do. What can I say?
the other one, I guess, is kind of a spin-off of that, or
Yeah.
kind of something additional to that. But yeah, that'll be really cool. That'll greatly help laser community, I think, and the print community possibly as well in some form or fashion. But yeah, so we'll definitely keep looking at that and see what we can do. And then I guess
for the people that don't know you, how can they like find you, get a hold of you, buy rotaries?
So my name is Jason Rife. You can find
Matt
me
Rife's uncle. What?
Who?
What? Matt Rife?
Who's that?
Oh, I think he's like a comedian.
I'll have to look into that.
Oh, it was a joke. Anyways, how can people find you?
My name's Jason Rife. You can find me on Facebook. Anywhere. If you own one of my products, just look on it. My phone number's there. You can give me a call.
And I'll tell you right now, when you call, he does answer every single call. He's answered everyone. We've been at dinner. We've been wherever. He answers it. And it'll be a customer asking about, I couldn't figure this out. And he was so patient with every single one, talked to them. And honestly, the last guy that called at dinner tonight, I probably wouldn't have been as patient with you. And you sat there and just talked to him and told him exactly what he needed to do to fix whatever. And got right, got the solution done. So
it drives my wife up the wall.
But your customer service is really good. I'll give you that.
And the good thing is I don't need much customer service because my stuff just works.
Yeah.
Like, it's that good.
So it seemed like a lot of it was user error.
A lot of it is.
That's what most time it is.
And that's one thing you just got to be patient with. I mean, you probably know with the Patch It Up Pro, people not installing it right, or setting it up, whatever. So I mean, it's just the nature of the beast. But yeah, I'll answer if I can. I'll answer any phone call that I get. If I can't, I'll return the call as soon as possible. But so again, you can find me on Facebook under my personal profile. You have my equipment. My phone number is on there. You can also reach us at jercustomdesigns.com, which is our local business for Jacksonville. And others if we have a service that you may need, DTF, whatever. Also, we have rotaryattachments.com and AppleAirUSA.com. So there's a lot of different ways you can get a hold of me. Reach out.
Rotoboss.com.
Or therotoboss.com. Actually, you can. We got that now since somebody else decided to get rotoboss.com and be nefarious with it. We got therotoboss.com. So now it's.
If it ain't got the, it ain't me.
That's right. Now we got the blue check mark, so to speak, with the, like everybody else famous does. So I guess I'm famous now, or infamous, I guess is a better way to put it. But yeah, so you can reach us, Rotoboss, rotaryattachments.com. They all link back to the same thing, but feel free to reach out anytime, any questions, rotary or laser related. And like I said, I've been doing this for over 10 years and I've got a lot of experience with what I do, and I'm not afraid to share that information. We also do courses if you like. We do them really cheap, and a lot of times if you call, we'll probably answer your call and talk to you for an hour and a half. Anyways, I've done that.
How do they sign up for the rodeo if they want to do that?
Right now, the sign up's not open. After the holidays, when we figure out where our tour schedule is with the events and things going on. We'll have it. I'm planning March, April timeframe. I think is probably the only time that we really have. There's not
early spring
a lot. I know we got ISA. ISA is in Orlando this year, so I want to say it's in late April. So likely it'll probably be in March.
Beginning in April somewhere.
Yeah, somewhere in that area. I'll know better after the holidays, and I finalize kind of what my schedule is going to be for the big events, and then obviously try not to step on toes with spring break, any holiday times, things like that. So just stay tuned if you want to know more about that. You can go to rotaryattachments.com/events, and we'll keep that updated with current information. Right now, it's just kind of talking about the one coming up and some stuff that we did in the previous one. So just keep an eye out for that. And again, if anybody has any questions, you can reach out on our contact us forms on any of our websites and also through any of our social media.
All right, on a closeout, if you have what's the best piece of advice you could give anyone, trying to get to this level of, where you're at or where you're trying to go? What can you tell them?
Well, hopefully not many people are dealing with what I'm dealing with. But I mean, my path's a little bit different. My path is focused on the rotaries. My path is focused on the air filters. Everything else that I do that is more maker stuff is local and just kind of, that's more the side hustle now. The biggest thing I could say is kind of just to reiterate networking. Just don't feed your competition with your customers.
Yeah.
I mean, you can be cordial with your competition, which, in my opinion, your only competition is yourself. Not everybody's out to get you.
No. Not every post is about you.
Yeah. Not everything's about you.
No.
It's just stay in your lane, do your thing, and it'll all work out. I guess we can call that a wrap, huh?
Yeah. So, ended on that
all right,
note.
everybody. We'll see you at the rodeo.